Hey, hey. Welcome, Lester St. Louis, setting the stage for us here this morning.
Hello.
This is Roulette at the Lot, presented by Roulette Intermedium. My name is Matt Malin. I'm the Associate Artistic Director at Roulette. Roulette's a nonprofit music venue located in downtown Brooklyn. And Lester St. Louis is performing at Roulette very soon. Lester, tell us about your show. Can you tell us about your show?
Yes. Firstly, thanks for having me, Matt. So good to be here. My commission concert is June 5th at 8 p.m., I'm pretty sure, like most of the events. And I've been writing a new piece for string trio, which is violin, viola, cello, electronics, and trumpet as well, where I'll be playing with Josh Modney on violin, Carrie Fry on viola, Mariel Roberts on cello, and Chris Williams on trumpet and electronics, and I'll also be doing some electronics as well. Yeah, very excited.
Yes. Have you had a solo show at Roulette?
I did back in December 2020.
December 2020?
Yeah.
Wow.
Just when nobody was
shut
there.
down, it was empty space
Yeah.
just for the cameras.
Just
amazing.
for the cameras.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So we have an awarded artist program at Roulette, which is our residencies, commissions, and fellowships. And Lester is a commissioned artist. What does that mean?
As far as I understand, it's
I'm asking you to tell me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you tell me. Got to reread the contract.
Lester's been asked to write a new piece of music that will be premiered at Roulette, and the date again is June 5th.
June 5th.
Lester, you are what they call a hyphenated individual in the realms of creative and professional intersections.
Yeah.
What do you do? Can you tell me?
Yeah.
In addition to writing new pieces of music for your gig at Roulette.
Yeah. So I'm a cellist and bassist primarily. Also a composer, electronic performer, and sound engineer, and often collaborator across different mediums, like working with dance and theater quite a lot, doing a lot of sound design work. And that's the stuff that I usually get paid to do.
Uh-huh. You know? You do shit that you don't get paid for too?
I do. You got to do some stuff for yourself, you know?
Well, tell me, you just got back from Europe. What have you been up to most recently? What have you been working on?
So, yeah, I was in Europe for a little more than a month, playing with this trio I have called Hypersurface, which is with Drew Waselli and Carlo Costa. So we did a couple days, or like 2 weeks in Europe up front, and then I went over to Belgium to do this dance installation piece with a really good friend of mine named Nikima Yagudayev in Brussels, which this music that you're hearing in the background is some of the music that myself and my good friend Jordan Balaber, who's an amazing producer and guitarist and composer, we co-wrote together, and also made this in the pandemic, so we got all this like recordings from these guitarists in Bergen, Norway, where the piece was premiered, and kind of did this back and forth thing across 3 months and made this record, which was incredible process, but one is enough for this life, you know?
How did you get to start working with all these European cats? How did you make these connections here in New York City?
Yeah, partially in New York City. There's Wow. Yeah, the first band that I really played in and was asked to play in was with this drummer and composer from Slovenia named Dreho Chevar.
Okay.
And
when was this?
This was 2013.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm still pretty young, pretty fresh out of high school.
Yeah, you must have been very young.
I was
13.
No.
No?
I was 19 when we met.
Oh, wow.
Through him, this piano player that we worked with, Bram de Loza, was the first person to bring me to Europe to perform back in December of 2014. Mm-hmm. And prior to that, I had gone to Darmstadt that summer to do all that madness, that new music summer camp vibe. And yeah, I, once you go, you meet some people. You go again, you meet some more people.
Yeah.
And there was definitely a portion of time where I just like, paid my way to go to Europe to like go meet with people. And I think that was really helpful, just kind of making that investment.
So you were like a high school phenom here in New York City?
No,
Tell me about you're here. You're from here, right?
I'm from here originally, but I finished high school in Rock Hill, South Carolina.
Oh, okay, word.
Yeah, my family had moved there when I was in 10th grade.
Okay.
And yeah, Rock Hill, all love and no disrespect to South Carolina, but just a regular ass town. It's a regular ass town. Didn't go to a special high school or anything but it gave me a lot of time to like dig into stuff.
Yeah.
Because there was nothing else to do.
Uh-huh.
So I got super into playing and learned so much music, started composing. My orchestra teacher let me prepare the piano and all that. It was like such a beautiful experience.
So then, did you go to music school after that?
No, I didn't go to college.
You came to New York City?
I moved right back.
Yeah. So did you have family here, or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, most of my family is still here outside of my immediate family.
Yeah.
My mom and sisters.
Word.
Yeah.
So that's sweet. You had like a support system. You could come right back to the city and like just get engaged with the music.
Yeah, more or less. I mean, my aunt let me like live in her house for like a year. While I like spent a lot of that time going to the city and seeing shows and meeting people and like going to as many philosophy lectures.
Oh, hell yeah. Nice.
Where I like very proudly got my copy of the Communist Manifesto signed by Zizek at Columbia,
nice.
which is like, I'm still so happy about that. And yeah, just came back and then moved out, got a place with a friend of mine and just started figuring it out,
Yeah. Tell us about what you started. You're really setting a Sunday morning stage. It doesn't match my like energetic banter vibe. This has been a beautiful morning so far. Tell us what you've been playing for us so far.
Right. So if I remember the order correctly, the first one was this piece called "Feel" by Hiroshi Yoshimura, someone whose music I've listened to essentially every day for like the last 3 years. Something about just really sets the tone of my day really right, gets my mind kind of set up in a beautiful way, but also leaves a lot of room for imagination. Then we listened to Green by Holland Andrews, who's a dear friend, and trying to play as much music by friends as I can too,
Yeah.
And then after that, I think I played
Man, I just want to rant for a second real quick.
Yeah.
Isn't it funny sometimes, like, you have this, like, pejorative about a show that's called a friend show? Right. Do you know this pejorative? Do you use it as a pejorative?
Never.
So it's like, it's a friend show. It's like, there's no real audience that came to it. Just all your friends come to the show.
Right.
But, like, what else is there?
What else is there?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Once you get into the scene, it's like, that should be the goal, right?
Absolutely.
That you're just bringing your friends in.
Absolutely. I mean,
setting bills up and then seeing each other's shows. I mean, what other audiences are there? They're going to be that dedicated to the music. Sorry, I interrupted you.
No.
Remember what the next?
No, I mean, I like that the one I played after was Almost There by Joy Guidry. And then, who's another good friend, incredible composer,
I don't know Joy
Guidry. She's incredible. I think she's
based here in
moving
New York
back.
City?
I think she's moving back.
Moving back from where?
I think San Diego.
Oh, okay.
She was at UCSD.
Oh, word.
And then I played that third track by Aphex Twin from the like Selected Ambient Works.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
classic.
Like,
Okay, what's up next?
So right now, under this, we're listening to Orbit Arps from this album, basically, that I made with my friend Jordan and with Nikimo, who we made this whole dance piece around. And I think I'm gonna slowly ramp up. I'm still gonna keep it like a little low. I want to let Orbit Arps play for a little bit more, and then I think I'm gonna play a piece by H by H, which is the duo that Chris Williams and I have.
Oh, great!
And we're gonna be playing at the Roulette show.
Great.
And then we'll take off from there.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here, Lester. You're listening to Roulette at the Lot. This is Lester St. Louis. Yes, yes. You're listening to Roulette at the Lot. This is Matt Malin. I'm here with Lester St. Louis, who's our guest DJ today. Lester is performing at Roulette on June 5th. He's a commissioned artist at Roulette, which means he's been commissioned to write a new piece of music that's going to premiere on June 5th. Can you tell us what we've just been listening to, Lester?
Yes. What was that sequence again? Okay. So the first one is something unreleased. My duo with Chris Williams called H by H. A piece that we made, which we don't really have a name for, but we call Beach for some reason.
It was beachy.
It was beachy? Yeah, beach vibes. And then from there, I went into Endless Summer by Finesse, and then ended off with a piece by my friend Jordan Balber, who I've been talking about a lot, called Perpetual Care.
Tell us about Jordan Balber. You doing a lot of collaborating with Jordan. Jordan's here in New York City?
Jordan's here in New York. Yeah, he's a really good friend of mine. We used to be roommates way back in the day. And he's a guitar player and composer and producer. And yeah, I love him. I love his music, and I just wanted to give him a little feature today, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, it's great because we're getting a big cross-section of all of your different projects, and so I wonder if you can talk more about, you talked about like what you've just been doing, right. You were in Europe, but talk about like some of the major projects that you have going here in New York City.
Right. So one thing, I forgot to mention, also a curator, curate a lot of concerts. And Luke Stewart and I, shout out to Luke, co-run a series at this space called Sisters in Clinton Hill, called Assembly, which we do every month, where a lot of the focus is based on bringing kind of all these different streams of music that are deeply related in like traditions of dance music and traditions of improvisation and experimentation. So we often like have an improviser solo or with a group. Nate Woolley's Mutual Aid Music, who's our resident band for the year, and they're just kind of developing this book of music every month. And then an electronic performer and a DJ who's playing through the whole night. So you kind of get this beautiful journey through line of like, making all these kind of relationships that we're all aware of, that we all know about, but like sometimes gets like lost in how it's spoken.
Yeah,
about,
totally.
you know?
And there's a flow to it too. The series is great. I've only been to one, but it was fantastic, and I totally felt the flow.
Yeah.
It has a flow to it.
Absolutely.
Why you call it Assembly?
Ooh, I mean, it's a coming together, like, and that's what it's about. Yeah. On the first one, Luke and Aquiles Navarro, who have this DJ massive called IE Sound System, DJ'd the first one, and Luke was on the mic screaming like, "It's all connected, bitch," you know? And it's like, and he's talking about all this music, and it's like, yeah, I mean, that's Assembly, that's what it is.
Yeah, that's beautiful. The first time I heard you play was with Jamie Branch's group.
Oh, yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about that group and how you came to meet Jamie?
Yeah. Oh, Fly or Die. Oh, Jamie Branch, love you. Yeah, Jamie and I met in 2015 at a house show that Sam Weinberg put together, where we both did solo sets, and Jamie was the last one on the night, and I think she had another gig before. She came super late, but she like came in and like blew the room out, you know? I was like, damn, she's like really loud. You know? It's like, whoa, who is this? And we saw each other around town for a while. She and Brandon Lopez ran a series down at what is that place called? It's this old bar restaurant that was not so far from here. But they ran a series for a while, and I hung out with her there a lot. And then in December of 2017, she had sent me an email to come and do a couple gigs subbing with Fly or Die. For the first ones being in January of 2018, where we played what's now San Pedro, but was then Bait and Tackle down in Red Hook, and out in up in Massachusetts and Philly as well. And on that last gig in Philly, you know, they all went over to the side and like had a little talk and was like, all right, you want to join the band, you know? And yeah, I mean, it was 4 years of truly incredible time,
Yeah.
incredible music. Really became like a family, you know.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah. Tamika Reed played in the band
Tamika Reed was the
on the
OG.
first. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you played on the second Flyer Die record.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the second, the live one, and yeah, there's another one.
There's another one.
There's
yeah, I've
another
heard
one.
about the other
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
And
I don't know what I
we-
can and can't say.
Let's not talk about it. It's
Yeah.
okay, but I've heard about it too. And you play also with. Just saw you recently at Roulette playing with Wendy Eisenberg.
Yes.
And that's you've also done some gigs, just improvised gigs with Wendy. Can you talk about that group, Studies in Loyalty?
Yeah. So we actually just decided our name the other day. So Wendy, Ryan Sawyer, and I have a trio, and we are now called Darling.
Oh, beautiful. Great.
We came across that. We had a gig at LPR the other night, but yeah, it's a really beautiful band where it's a combination of songs that Wendy has written and songs that Ryan sings because he also sings, and improvising. Yeah, which is, I don't know, just a lot of fun. Those guys,
that's great.
They're great.
I saw a set of Ryan doing those songs solo on drums, like that vibe. He made a record like that too. I don't think I've ever heard it, but I'm busy meaning to check it. It's great. Tell me about other projects you have. You have a duo with Chris Williams, the trumpet player.
I've got this duo H with Chris Williams, dear brother of mine, trumpet player, composer, sound artist, food enthusiast, which is an electroacoustic duo where more and more we're getting into kind of trying to figure out how to create more installation style experiences that allow us to open up the social space of that performance, not only have it be a sonic experience, but also a way to connect with people. And we're both really interested in interviewing people. So we're finding out, we're developing ways to do that. There's another trio that I'm in called Si No No with Isabel Crespo Pardo and Henry Frazier, which is just all this beautiful music that Issa writes, and I mean, there aren't enough words to kind of encapsulate how beautiful that experience is. I play with Elder Ones, this band of Amirtha Kadambi's, where I play cello and bass or bass, depending on where we are and what the situation is. I feel like there are so many things.
No, man, you're a busy cat.
I'm a busy guy. Yeah. Thankfully, very lucky to be a busy guy.
Yeah, that's great. So, did you come to the cello very early in your life? What brought you to your instrument?
Yeah. I started playing cello when I was between 13, 14 years old. As an early teenager, I became deeply obsessed with classical music. And I was just in a very deep music dive discovery portion of my life.
What's the shit that spoke to you? What made you obsessed?
Yeah, I mean, it was a few things. One, it was hearing the Eroica Symphony, the Beethoven Third Symphony, was really incredible. Hearing a lot of Bach's solo keyboard music, and especially hearing it on harpsichord for the first time, and then hearing a historically informed performance version of it by Andrew Monzi and the Academy of Ancient Music with Rachel Podger. And I was so confused. I didn't know that there were historical tunings and this whole practice of music that's based on digging up how people originally played it, and it just blew my mind. I was like, why is everything a half step down? I know A minor and this isn't it. You know what I mean? And my teacher told me, and so through falling in love with all that music.
Where did you experience that stuff? You experienced it live and in performances? No, on recordings.
On recordings.
Yeah. That your teacher hipped you to, or that?
No, I was going to other music and Kim's music a lot when I was younger. Especially growing up here, you get to go on the train and take yourself around a lot earlier. So I would go to record shops, and remember they would have those listening stations. So there were some things that I could put in, especially if I knew I'm just gonna buy this, and check some things out, and talk to the people who work in there. What are you into? I'm a kid.
Yeah.
And I'm this person's so cool. Tell me about your music. You know what I mean?
Oh, did you get to do that before you were like self-conscious teenager? Like I think about, I actually was lamenting recently that like people don't have to go through the gauntlet of like other music anymore. Like, especially when you start like getting like knowing any of the people that work there, then you're like, oh shit, now they're gonna look at what I pick out. And, like, do you know what I mean?
No, I mean,
do you know what I'm saying?
They were like, this baby is coming here to pick up this, Einstürzen and Neubauten.
Yeah,
record,
yeah.
Or like whatever, or all this shit, or like, they'd recommend me a bunch of stuff, and I was just so thrilled to get that. You know?
Yeah. I just was such a self-conscious person that I like loved what did it for me was the library, because like I could go to the library and like listen to anything I wanted and like not have anybody know about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Except the lady that checked me out or whatever and then I worked at the library when I was in college and would just go hide away and listen to stuff.
Wow.
But I've been missing that actually as I'm talking trash about it. Like I really miss that experience of like going in and having like a set of like, here's the staff picks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like and scoping stuff out and like what they've picked to be at the top of each thing. And, you know what I mean? And the joy of like just going through. I just haven't done it that much lately.
Yeah. No, same. I mean, I find a lot of music through recommendations of friends or on the internet somewhere, which is great because I also did that then too. It wasn't exclusively going to record stores because there were forums all over the internet to find shit. But that experience of just pulling up to a record store and you're there for like you meant to go there for 20 minutes, but you were there for an hour and a half.
Absolutely. Yeah. So did you start on the cello or did you start on you started on the cello?
Yeah, cello's number one. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
amazing.
Yeah.
So you just got into some music and then you were like, I want to play.
So there's a beautiful story here. So when I was in school, I was just like cutting class one day and was walking around the hallways, and I discovered a part of the building that I had just like never really paid any attention to, and those were the music rooms were. The orchestra band and the chorus room was over there. So I'm like walking around the halls and I like hear like some music. I'm like, what's going on? So I just open the door and like, hey, what's happening in here? And I like lied to the teacher and was like, oh yeah, I'm free this period. I'm just like using my free period to walk around. So she let me stay the whole class period. And I was just like, at the end we were talking, I was like, I really want to join. Like, because I had, grown up being like a painter. And, I was really looking for ways to engage socially with other people and do something that was making something together that wasn't sports. And orchestra was a great intersection for me to like play music, play the music that I'm like super into right now, and like get another sense of sociality. So
they just invited you in and they were like,
I just walked in. Yeah. I fully just walked in, and she let me join the class.
Wow. Yeah. But then why the cello? Did they just have an extra cello chilling, or did you?
There were maybe just not enough cellists at that point.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. That's the best.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Very cool.
Yeah.
And then did you start taking private lessons and?
No, I'm pretty self-taught.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty
amazing.
Self-taught.
Very cool.
On everything actually, which is like very. Both like really grateful for, because I think there's some baggage that I don't necessarily carry, but then also on the other side is like, damn, I would have gotten so much other shit together if I just took lessons,
Yeah.
Like I would just probably just be in the New York Phil right now.
You might have got some cheat codes or some discipline or something.
Yeah.
I took music lessons and I got neither of those. So I think it's totally individual.
What was your first instrument?
I took the piano. I started on the piano. Yeah, and I played the piano till I was 12, and I got a guitar.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I still play the piano, but just I'm still stuck in that. Yeah. Age 13, what I was doing like, competitions and shit,
right?
Playing Bach 2-part inventions.
Oh my god!
That's really where I leveled off. And,
oh my god!
And learning how to play Boyz II Men songs on the piano, things like that I wanted to serenade girls with and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh man, I just totally lost my train of
No,
thought.
no, it's cool. It's cool.
I'm thinking about Boys to Men. We should get back to some music. What's playing right now in the background?
Right now, this is I thought when thinking about this, I was like, God, there's like so many things I could play, but I also wanted to pull in some things that were like super inspiring.
Yeah.
Inspiring to me. So right now, this is a piece called Apostrophe 1 for 2 bass clarinets, written by Evan Johnson. Just like super fucking luscious, and Evan just writes this insane music that's like beautifully notated and sounds even more beautiful. But yeah, but I think we're gonna kick up the energy. Actually.
Beautiful.
So I'm gonna let this rock for a bit, then transition into some heat.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Lester, for being here, for making a playlist for us. I'm gonna rep some upcoming roulette things. We have some amazing shows coming up. We have Bang on a Can's Long Play Festival happening next weekend, Saturday and Sunday. We have Philip Glass Ensemble that's doing Glassworks, which is going to be amazing. I'm going to bring my kids to it. It's in the middle of the day at 2:30. Then we have Ty Braxton playing with Ben Vita that evening. And then we also have the following day, Tyshawn Sori is performing with Conrad Tao on piano. They're doing Triadic Memories, the Feldman piece. So that'll be an amazing gig. We have coming up after that, I'm gonna take a look. We have DeForest Brown Jr., who's doing a brand new piece called Birmingham that utilizes recordings, archival recordings of Sun Ra from Chicago's Experimental Sound Studio, where I happen to previously have been the archives manager. Amazing collection of materials there in Chicago, and DeForest is using some of Sun Ra's vocal recordings, some music, and making a whole new piece built in to his philosophy around techno. And then we have the following week, Wednesday, May 17th, we have Zena Parkins and Letitia Saname, 2 legends of experimental music, performing. And we have Sunhand Guild, which is a new project from Eddie Kwan.
Which I'm in.
What's that?
I'm in that.
Are you in that? Yes. Lester St. Louis. It's Eddie Kwan, Laura Cox, Jesse Cox, Do-Yeon Kim, and Lester St. Louis. All right, Lester, let's get it into something new. Or you can let this roll, too.
It's about to end.
Oh, okay.
Get to know me, the real me. Get to know me, the fucking real me. Is there any more pics? You. Of you. Is there any more pics? You. Of you. Is there any more pics? You. Of you. Is there any more pics? You. Is there any more pics?
Hey, you are listening to Roulette at the Lot. My name is Matt Malin. I'm Associate Artistic Director at Roulette. I'm here with Lester St. Louis, who's our guest DJ for today. He's been picking all the tunes. What are we listening to right now?
Oh, this is Andara by Ryuichi Sakamoto. Rest in peace to that beautiful genius. Yeah.
Huge loss and total surprise to me. I guess after the fact, I saw that he had been dealing with cancer.
Yeah.
But I had no idea. So I mean, he was relatively young. I thought, it was a total shock to me when I heard. But yeah, it's been an amazing. As always, I actually have such a hang up about when people die. It's oh, now we're listening to all their music.
I know exactly what you
know what
mean.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we should, so it's just let's remember together that we listen to people and hype them up.
Yeah.
When they're here.
Yes, absolutely.
But it's also, I've been listening to his work nonstop and hearing a bunch of stuff that I've never heard before. So it's
Yeah.
you know that there's always that flip to it. But anyway, Lester, thanks so much for being here. What did we hear before this Sakamoto?
Yeah, there was a long run. So I think we started off with Real Me by Jay Words, another friend based here, incredible DJ, producer, artist extraordinaire. Then after that we heard Pics of You by Proc Fiscal. And then I think it was Reciprocal Capture by Hero Cone, mutual friend
Nicky
of ours.
Mao, Nicky Mao, represent.
Bow, bow, bow.
Yes.
Featuring speaker music, the great DeForest Brown Jr. brought those
really?
drums to you.
On
yeah.
that track? Oh, sweet. It's
beautiful.
Yeah.
And then we ended off with Orat by Ikue Mori. I love Ikue so much. Like, one person gotta work with in this life, Ikue.
We were just here with David Weinstein, one of Roulette's founders and current archives manager. He was just talking about this piece he just unearthed, the Death Ambient piece from I forget what year he said. It was 97 or something, 1997. I'm looking. He's going to play it on his radio show in the coming week. I'm looking forward to hearing that.
Yeah, same.
Ikue is amazing. She was just at Roulette doing Mort Subotnick's 90th birthday celebration, which we had last Sunday, just a week ago.
Morton.
Which was amazing. Lots of heavy hitters on that night. Ikue was there. John King, David Behrman, George Lewis was there, talked. Curtis Rhodes talked. A bunch of people sent in videos to say happy birthday to Mort, like Susan Ciani and Reese Chatham, and it was awesome. It was
I mean,
an awesome
when
show.
you're a heavy hitter like that, heavy hitters wish you a happy birthday. You know?
Absolutely. So, Lester, I want to talk more about your upcoming gig, your commission, the new piece that you're bringing to Roulette called Metahaven on June 5th. And I was reading the description of it. I like that it is connected to that hyphenated individual that you are. So talk a little bit about what Metahaven is.
Yeah. So firstly, I got this name. I didn't steal it because it's a word. Nobody owns words. But Metahaven is this really interesting, really incredible design firm based out in the Netherlands, who it's like works I've been reading for a while and seeing a lot of their designs and a lot of their collaboration. But I remember when I heard that name, like, I don't know, 7 years ago, I was like, damn, that's an incredible word. Mm-hmm. So when thinking about this piece and like what I wanted it to be, which is like having such a long and rich instrumental practice, and especially a solo practice, you build and develop all these idiosyncrasies to your playing that are very specific to you. And I wanted to find some way to like translate that to other players and kind of build this world that was like just this kind of richness of all the joy that I get from being able to play cello, and translate that to violin and viola and kind of build like really a haven for it. I mean, it is like, it's like the meta is like the meta of my own practice and thinking and that tradition that it's built from, and then the haven is like just kind of this glorious place to have all that live.
How are you doing that practically? How are you scoring your idiosyncrasies?
Yeah, it's really it's terrible. Composing is great and terrible, but yeah, I mean it's I recorded a lot of things of myself playing them and variations, and then I'm like sitting down and finding like, okay, is there already a notation for this? Yes or no? And if there's not, design one that's like that at least bears a kind of visual relationship to something that can be understood by the players, or just make something new, right? And kind of playing like a fun game of Tetris with them a little bit, you know?
Very cool,
like stack these together.
And then you're bringing in electronics and your work as a sound engineer, producer.
Yeah.
So how is it all being integrated?
Yeah, so I mean, the thing I want to do, and I need to schedule a production meeting about this actually, I want to put a speaker next to each of the performers. So each one gets their own speaker, and then 2 additional speakers kind of as like a master sound from the electronics coming and routing through. And the thing that achieves is like, it's like a guitar amp.
Mm-hmm.
You get proximity of that sound and its processing going out into the room. And I want things to feel really singular or similar at times. So yeah, that's so much of my like sound engineer practice coming into that. And yeah, I do so much electronic production and producing for other people as well. So I just have an enormous toolbox of like sounds and ways to manipulate sounds that just kind of like stack them all together and hopefully you'll cry.
Well, it's a super cool group. It's like some players from different worlds. Can you talk about how you put the group together and why? So you have Josh Modney, who I know from International Contemporary Ensemble and Wet Ink, and he plays in Wet Ink, right?
He does play in Wet Ink.
Yeah. So doing very forward-thinking, modern classical experimental stuff, obviously, outside within that. But then talk about bringing Josh in, and then some of the other players that you have on the gig.
Yeah, I mean, when thinking about especially a string trio, I was like, well, I need some people that I know could really hang with each of these techniques and read it like no problem,
Yeah.
And Josh and Carrie and Marielle are all really exceptional musicians with their own practices, and are incredible interpreters. So it was an honor to be able to ask these friends to come and join me in like trying to realize these ideas. And I know they're gonna crush it.
Yeah.
And yeah,
It's a killer group.
it's a killer group. As well as Chris Williams. There will be a little bit of trumpet writing as well, but he's also an incredible interpreter. You know, he's I love that guy.
Man, can't wait. It's gonna be great. What else you got coming up?
So many things.
Yeah.
Playing tonight up in at Tubby's in Kingston with Wendy and Ryan.
They seem to be having something going up there at Tubby's. They're doing like a series. The programming's been killing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So have you been up there before?
I've been up to Kingston. I've never been to Tubby's yet, so I'm excited to get to check it out for the first time. What else? Playing with Eddie, the Sun Hun Guild at Roulette on the 19th. That group is also going to the MERS Festival.
Oh, wow, cool. Beautiful.
Which is exciting. Chris and I, H by H, are in residence at Pioneer Works for the month of June. We're just going to invite a bunch of homies and strap in and make a bunch of music and finish this record that we've been working on. We're also going to go on the road in Europe from July to August.
Sweet.
Yeah.
That's about as far as you can get.
I could go for yeah. I gotta look at my calendar. I'm sure I missed like a lot of great stuff in there,
Yeah, man. Well, thank you for making the time to be with us today. What are you gonna ride us out with?
I think I'm gonna play an unreleased thing of mine, actually.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, I've been. Yeah. That has a lot of relationship to some of the stuff you're gonna hear in the show.
Fantastic.
So, yeah.
We have an exclusive. Roulette at the Lot. We'll be back 4 weeks from today. The next one is May 28th. And thank you again for being here, Lester.
Thank you
so much. And then we'll just play out to then. Maybe we'll say goodbye at the end. There's a little bit more time. But thank you again, man, for putting the playlist together. We collect all of our playlists for Roulette at the Lot on our Spotify page. We'll share these playlists with you all via our social media. Go to roulette.org for upcoming events. And make sure you catch Lester's gig on June 5th.